Hi all, good morning, and myself SG777, and see here in this video we'll see what are all the repos which are needed in order to play the game using the pangea protocol. So there is a lot of confusion regarding how many repos are required and all those things. So here basically for any game which we are developing uses the pangea protocol. So the pangea protocol is implemented in the bet repository, and the coin which we use for betting is the chips, and we are using chips over the lightning network to make the instant payments. So from this it is very clear that we need three repos: chips, lightning, and bet. So in order to play the game, we are using chips over lightning network using the pangea protocol, and which is implemented in the beta. So here if you can see, I remotely connected to 4 machines. You can see the IP addresses. So these are the machines which I remotely connected. So dot 28, dot 29, dot 30, and dot 31. So these are my 4 machines which I remotely connected, and I already installed the chips in those machines. If you see, chips is already there in those machines. You can clone the chips from any of these repositories, from JLs or my repo, and you can clone the master branches from this repo. So I already cloned, and I am there on the master branch, and already my chips node is running on all these 4 nodes. You can see my chips node is already running. In the similar way, once you install the chips and the chips node is running, the next step is you need to install the lightning. So similar way, I cloned lightning repo. So again, you can take the repo from either my repo or from JL's repo, and here again the same master branch. So you can be on the master branch, and my lightning node is already up and running. Let me see. So here you can see my lightning node is up and running. So these are the first 2 steps. The first step is to install the chips and then make the chips run the chips demo. The second step is clone the lightning repo and then make the lightning demo running. So once this is done, so in order to make the bets, in order to make the payment using while you are playing the game, first of all you need to transfer some amount of the money to the lightning node. So if you can see here, say suppose this is the lightning client. By doing get info, you can see the information about your node. This is the ID of your node, and what is the IP address which is running, and what is the network it is using, chips. So this is the information about your node, and you can see what are all the funds with your node. See, right now my node having these many satoshis in terms of chips my node is having. So if you do it initially, like if you freshly install the lightning node, and if you see list funds, you will see all these fields are empty. So when these fields are empty, what you have to do, you have to generate a new address, that is chips address. Here if you do new address, this is the pay to script hash chips address. So once you get this address using any of the wallet or any of the means, you get some chips to this address. So once you get the chips to this address and then you do list funds, you can see you can see with the transaction ID. So this is the transaction ID and this is the amount which I deposited. So like in the similar way, you will also see some funds. So without transferring the funds, you cannot play the game. So this is the first rule, and you can also see what are all the addresses associated with your lightning node. Say suppose with this dev list address. See, these are all the, for me I generated a lot of addresses. So these are all the addresses which are associated with my lightning node. If you can deposit your funds to any of these addresses, and then it will reflect in your lightning node wallet. Okay, so with this, so with this, see, these are my 4 nodes, and all these 4 nodes, my lightning is up and running, you can see. And you can see all these nodes have some amount of funds are there. See, I already deposited all these nodes with some amount of funds, so you can see these are the funds all these nodes will be having. So at this moment all these 4 nodes are set to play. This is up to this point you set up the chips with the LN. So once you've done this thing, now you need to look into the bet repo. So same thing, I already cloned the bet repo. I already cloned the bet repo. If you can see, this is the stuff. So here you can see I just cloned the bet repo, and there are a lot of branches in the bet repo. So here you can see those branches. So dev, highest card wins, master, poker, rest dev. So dev is the branch where I made some development commits and all those things. So if you see the each and every branch, say suppose the highest card wins. So if you clone this branch, you can play the game between the 2 players. So the game is nothing but 2 players will bet randomly some amount, and whoever gets the highest card, and that player wins. So this is a very simple game. And the next thing is the poker. So Texas Hold'em poker, you can play with this branch. So now we can see how we can play the poker in the back end. And in the next video, or maybe in the same video, we'll see how we can play the same poker with the front end GUI. So in all my 4 nodes, there is a bet repo which I cloned. So from here you can clone the repo, and you can see I am there on the poker branch in all these 4 nodes. So in order to play the poker, so actually how the pangea protocol works, like DCV, there are 2 nodes will be there. One is the DCV, second one is the BVV. DCV is nothing but a dealer, and BVV nothing but a blinding value vendor, nothing but a blinder. So, and the rest of the nodes are the player nodes. So the purpose of the dealer and blinder is to shuffle the cards such a way that they cannot be reversed. Sorry. Okay, the purpose of the DCV and BVV is that the cards will be shuffled in such a way that the system can only be compromised if all the entities in the system collude. So this is if all the systems in the system or all the playing nodes in the system are trying to collude, then it's like then it is a proof that the system is more secure, because any one, like say suppose if DCV and playing nodes collude each other, in that case also the card information will never be revealed. Even if BVV and playing nodes collude also, the card information will never get revealed. So in short, like the system, the pangea protocol, using the pangea protocol, we designed the system in such a way that by any of the 2 entities collude together also, they cannot compromise the system. So in short, that is the thing. So here and moreover, all the communications which are happening in the system, like all the communication must happens through the dealer. So one playing node is not able to communicate to the other playing node directly. So if you can see, so at this moment I am running .30 as my DCV node. So this is my dealer. So my dealer is up and running, and I'm my blinder and any other node, every other node in the system must be connected to the dealer. So my blinder is also up and running, and it is connected to the dealer, and I'm starting the player node. So this is the player one. So you can see this this is the ID of the playing node 0, and this has the playing node 1. So if you can see, the player 1 got whole cards as diamond 5 and diamond 7, and same, the whole cards are same among the different among the players, and if you can see, the player 0 got spades 10 and diamond 7 as the whole cards. So and then so since this guy is the dealer, so the turn will be this, the turn will should belongs to this guy. So already the small blind and big blind is already happened. This is the small blind amount, this is the big blind amount, and you can see the lightning transaction which is happened. So this is the node left to the dealer. So it already made the small blind by sending uh, 1 million milli satoshis, and the big blind is always twice of the small blind. So immediately it paid the big blind, which is of amount 2 million satoshis, 2 million milli satoshis. Okay, now the player wants turn, so it can have this option: raise, call, all in, fold. So say suppose if it made call means the minimum, already the difference is 1 million satoshis, so it paid 1 million satoshis with the call option, and again the turn comes to the player 0, and here you can see all the time you can see the small blind, big blind, what is the pot size so far. And if you see, so it has, this is the first round of betting. So that the player 1 made a call, so the player can choose any of these options. Imagine like that, say suppose if this player chooses option 1, check, the first round of betting is happened. So the next round will happen. For in the next round, 3 community cards will be drawn. So now the backend, the communication is happening, and the 3 community cards are drawn. So these are the community cards: clubs jack, clubs queen, and clubs 3. These are the community cards. And say suppose if this player made a check, and the player's 0 turn, you can see the community cards are same. The community cards should be same. So you can see the same community cards for player 0 and player 1, and you can see the different whole cards for player 0 and player 1. So here you can see, suppose if the same again the player made check, so the round 2 betting is over. Now the river card is drawn. So it got this card is hearts 2. So say suppose if this player wants to raise, so the raise amount should always be greater than the big blind amount. Big blind amount is 2 million milli satoshis. So he raised this amount. So when he raised this amount, the other player can have that amount call, or he can re-raise, or he can all in or fold. Say assume I'm making, say this player also call with that amount. So now the round 3 betting is over. Now the last turn card, it seems. So it's a diamond jack. So this is the last round of betting. So I'm assuming this player made a check, and even this guy also last round of betting. So he also made check. Okay. So here you can see this is the dealer. In this dealer, see here this is the dealer. So this is the player ID 0. These are the cards which each player got: spades 10, diamond 7, and rest 5 cards are common, and diamonds 5 and diamonds 10, and rest cards are common. So here it can see winning amount is 8 million to milli satoshis, and winning player is 0. So this player, this is the player which won. So you can see, yeah, you can see this player already got paid with the 8 million to satoshis. So in this way, we can able to play the poker. I made the game recursive. That's the reason the next round of gaming is already started, and the whole cards is drawn for those both the players. So this is a simple video which is depicting like how we can play the poker with the pangea protocol which we designed. And mostly in the next video I will show you the progress of what I done using the front end. Thank you.